I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body.
What has happened is a complete surprise, because what's happened is people show up, they get engaged in real conversations with each other. You know, 70% of Americans don't know anybody who's Muslim. So if you don't know anybody who's Muslim, who believes in Islam, it's so easy for your mind to believe the lies and the false stereotypes that are being promoted, even inadvertently through the media, you know, covering ISIS. But the kind of language that was happening with our presidential candidates in 2016 was very divisive, and we wanted to do something in response to that. And it's a way to build bridges and make connections, and to, through person-to-person conversations, break the false stereotypes that are being promoted to the detriment of our Muslim brothers and sisters. You know, the attacks on mosques have gone up, the attacks on women wearing hijab, their headscarves, have gone up, and that's not the America we want to live in. And so these events are about building real connection and opening our hearts.
What do you think are the biggest misconceptions about Muslims among people that don't know Muslims?
I've had more than one Muslim friend tell me that people will call them a terrorist. It is easy, if you don't know somebody and if you don't know anything accurate about the faith, to fall prey to the falsehoods, to the false stereotypes.
Why did you want to do the event, Tea Time for Peace event here?
The purpose is to bring communities together, communities of diverse faiths, that we can fellowship, that we can get an understanding of one another. Because I think what we find out is that we're more alike than we are different.
You know, our world is so growing, so divisive and mean and angry. Not just our country, but the world. It's so more than out of a personal relationship, just a calling to try to show a different side and to experience a different side and to help people experience a different side of the world. And as people of faith, we just think it's important for us to give testimony to what love looks like.
When I go on a college campus right away.
You know, most people don't know their Muslim neighbor, and some of the hate is really based on the fact that they don't know us. So a meeting like this, it humanizes us, it protects us, it helps us bring assurance to our fellow Americans that we are not the enemy. We are an integral part of our nation, and we deserve to be respected like anybody else. Yeah, it's important that I said 70% of my fellow Americans have never met somebody like me. So when they sit down, break bread, eat some baklava, and have a cup of tea, all of a sudden you realize that, you know, the fear, the irrational fear that being, you know, portrayed in the media or by some people who are Islamophobe is really not true.
Rises in anti-Islamic sentiments across the Western world have manifested as increases in acts of hatred and violence against Muslims.
I think they're wonderful exchanges, a way to get to actually speak to someone who is raised differently than you were and who has the same values that you have, but it's something that you wouldn't be aware of without having sharing a meal with them and spending time together. So I think it's really a very valuable adventure, and I would just like more people to know about it and more people to, you know, step out of their comfort zone.
We're all